Direct outreach is what? Emailing people if you have the emails, if you found the email somehow. Now, these are people obviously you don't know. Direct outreach as a person who has no contacts, you are cold emailing, cold texting, or cold calling or whatever. Like, they don't know who you are. It is a very cold situation. Like, oh my God, I'm out here. Direct outreach is private messaging on their social media, or maybe you gotten their email from IMDb. You have IMDb Pro, you can actually get people's contact information when you find people on IMDb. Direct outreach, people you don't know. And this is something that I did when I first moved to New York. Now, I emailed probably hundreds. I'm probably in the 1,000 or something like that. I emailed so many people while I was a barista in New York City. I lived in the Bronx. I was a barista in Times Square, where it's not there anymore. I think it's a restaurant now, but it was called Bene, Cafe Bene. And it was right across from Chicago on 49th and Broadway. That's where I worked. And I remember I used to work the early morning shift, the busy shift, because I was a really good barista. I can make you a mean cappuccino, I'm just saying. And I was doing that, like, when I was not working, it became my job outside of my regular, like my surviving job was to email people. That's what I was doing. I was trying to email as many people. I would do 5 or 6 a day. But these are people that, you know, you don't know, so you have to do more of it, right? You have to, like, the percentage of people getting back to you is very low. So with that low percentage, some of those are going to be no's. Some of those are like, no, I'm not going to help you out. But if no one's going to help you out, they're probably not going to email you back, because a lot of people don't want that confrontation. I'm finding out that most people in the world just don't want confrontation, regardless of the wars we're having right now in the world. A lot of people just want to avoid any fight, argument, confrontation whatsoever. So instead of them saying, no, leave me alone, they just ignore your email, right? So a lot of that will just, like, you'll email and email and email and not get anything back. Then some people will give you the courtesy of being like, hey, you know, thanks for reaching out, but I'm not in this department anymore, or I don't work in New York anymore. I don't do that anymore. I'm in a different industry or something, which that's a lovely, like, courtesy for someone to just let you know, like, hey, I don't do it anymore. And others might say, you know, try this out or try this out. And that's what happened to me, is someone was like, go to this building, figure out, like, you know, get your resume, print it out, and then just get up there, lie to the security guard. And I did all of this. I think Amber now wouldn't do what past Amber did to get a job. I was, like, very ignorant, and, like, ignorance is bliss, y'all. I'm just saying. Direct outreach is something that you can do, and the way you're going to find certain emails is, like I said, IMDb Pro. You can also go to IMDb, right, and then go to something and find a movie that might have been shot near you, in your state, near your city, in your city, because not everything is shot in New York, LA, and Atlanta, and Chicago, guys. There's so many things that are shot, like, I mean, Killers of the Flower Moon was in Oklahoma, in the middle of, like, who knows where, right? So things are shot in a lot of different places because different states have, you know, bigger incentives, like the tax credit. And the bigger the tax credit, most likely a lot of productions go there. But also it depends on, like, what the script is calling for and all that jazz. So a lot of things are not shot in New York, LA, Chicago, and Atlanta, or Vancouver, or Toronto. It's like the big cities, yes, there is a lot of work. But even if you are not near those cities, there is going to be certain movies that are shot near you that are closer to you. So what happens is that when films shoot in those types of areas, not everyone is coming from those big cities. They have some local people. So remember that that if you find someone that worked on a movie that shot in your area, so this is going to require some research, guys. This is going to take some effort. This is not just going to be some easy stuff that is going to be, like, first of all, working in film is not easy, okay? That's number one. If you think trying to get into film is going to be easy, it is not. So if you are wrong, you are, like, wrong to think that, oh, it's just going to be easy to find all these stuff. No, do the research. Find out, like, what's shot near you. There's some, like, if, for example, if you're like me, I am originally from Buffalo. You can look up movies that were shot in Buffalo. Go to IMDb, find that movie on there, put in that movie. Then you're going to go to all cast and crew, and then a whole bunch of people's names are going to come up. Then, like, maybe you want to be, I don't know, like, you want to be a dollar grip or a key grip or something. You want to be a key grip? All right, well, click on that key grip's name. Maybe they have social media. You never know. Look, Google their name, and then find out, hey, are you the one that worked on in this Buffalo, like, just trying to, like, reach out, I'm from here and I would love some advice. 2 sentences. The other thing with direct outreach, be a person. People are like, they're using like Chat GPT to write their emails and shit. Let's just be a person. We can tell when you're like using some damn template. I don't like when people are super, super formal, like they're not a person. And I understand that with the corporate world, that is how you guys communicate. You guys use like a lot of like vernacular that is just so wildly formal. And I'm like, I'm sorry, are you a robot or are you a person? So, but just know that when you work in film, you are not a robot. You are dealing with people. So the more personable and the more likable you are, the more people are going to be attracted to you and the more people that want to talk to you. It is so hard for me. And here's the thing. If you email me beyondfilmschool@gmail.com, if you have a question, you email me, I'm happy to answer it. And when someone is super formal with me, knowing that either you found me on my website or through YouTube, that means I know that you've at least know a little bit about me. You've at least seen some of my videos. You've seen how, like, maybe you've probably watched this live stream or something. You're like, I want to ask Amber a question. So you know a little bit about me. But then you're super formal in your email. You're like, I would like to know this, this, and this, and this, and this. And then you're like, art best. That is so formal. It doesn't give me who you are as a person. It doesn't show me that you like did your work or paid attention to what the hell. Like, I just, formal emails drive me crazy. Show me that you're a person. Can you laugh? Do you have a sense of humor? Like, some people are like, you know, I was really, like, I love people who, that tell me that they're nervous. That like, you know, I didn't really want to send this email. I wasn't sure, but I sent it anyways. And I just want to like, I love that. So Paula, since Paula's still on, I love this thing. I stole something from her and I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, reconnecting. But like she used the whole being brave. Now, when you're a PA, you have to network. You have to make sure you move up. But when you start out as an AD, you have to start all over again in the AD world where it's like, you have to keep making sure that you're like working your way up, passing your resume out, making sure your information is out there. So like Paula says to me, she's like, hey, I'm being brave, take my resume. I'm like, got you, like take mine too, whatever. So I used that tactic. I was like, this is perfect because like, I never know how to start that conversation. So I remember I used it in like 3 of my emails to like people who I wanted to reconnect with. Like, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while, but I'm being brave. I just want you to know that I appreciate working with you. And like, you know, this is my resume. Here's what I've been up to. Blah, blah, blah. So like, that like sparked an inspiration in me. So thank you, Paula, for that. I really appreciate that you being brave caused me to be brave. It was like lovely. But when you're doing emails to people that you don't know, you have to show some personality, some warmth, something like, first of all, why are you reaching out to that person? They want to know, why do you have my information? Where did you find their information? That is very useful. Like, hey, I found you on IMDb and I saw that you are on Instagram. Now, if they have a private account, that is a good way of knowing they do not want to be contacted. So just recognize when someone wants to be contacted and someone does not. So if someone has a public account, or maybe you can tell that they're more social and they have more posts and they're fun or whatever, really take into account the personality that they are showing because some people don't want to be bothered. Just like read the room. And we're going to talk more about that like tomorrow as well. Like knowing what to look out for when someone does not want to be bothered and does not want to be contacted and you're just wasting your efforts versus someone who's like open and they might be, you know, they might have a lot of stories on their Instagram or they might have a lot of Facebook reels or you never know, like people have other sides to them that show you that they're open to someone contacting them. So finding that person on IMDb, find out where their social media is and then like direct message them and just be a person. Why do you have their information? Why are you contacting them? And what do you appreciate about them? Because that is something that like, that is another tactic, not even tactic or element of your communication with them that you need to let them know. Like, I appreciate that the fact that like you're reading this email, you're taking the time. That's a huge one because they don't have to fucking read your email, right? Like, thank you for reading this email. I appreciate your time. I would appreciate any like information you're willing to share with me. When I started my direct outreach, when I first moved to New York, it went something like this. Hi, I'm Amber. I just moved to New York City. I'm originally from Buffalo. I'm trying to find information on how to become a day player additional PA. I know I'm trying, I think I said something about like, I'm working my way up to be an assistant director and any information I would appreciate. Like, or I think any information sometimes like a little too formal. So it depends on, you know, what your goals are, who you're reaching out to. And I think now, like, I think I would have definitely had a better tactic now, like all the stuff that I know now. I really had 2 or 3 sentences and I attached my resume. You know, if you know anyone that's hiring who needs an additional PA, please let me know. Here's my resume. You know, and then people who I wanted advice from, that I would appreciate, like, any advice. I probably, of the hundreds of emails that I sent, probably got like a handful. But that one person that really pushed me, that I think her name was Tibby. Her name was Tibby. And she told me exactly where to go. Is like, she changed my life. I have to email this person. And I always think about that. I'm like, it's going to be crazy. Like, you are the foundation of my film career because you took a chance and you gave me information and I just went with it. Now, had I not seized that opportunity from the information she gave me in that email and I didn't take the risk and I just didn't go for it, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I think that is a hard fact. Because a lot of times what happens is that someone gives you an opportunity and you do not utilize it. You don't take the chance. You don't, like, you talk yourself out of it. You have anxiety. You like overthink it and you're like, oh my God, what if? And you don't do the thing that they're like, you know what, you should do this. And you don't do the thing. And then you lose out on an opportunity. And you could be somewhere in your life where it's just, you don't know where it can take you and you didn't get there because you didn't take that chance. So making sure that you are utilizing opportunities that are in front of you. And when you do outreach and they reply to you, thank them for replying to you. Even if they say, hey, I'm not in New York anymore, I'm not in the business anymore, just be like, thank you so much for reading my email, I appreciate it. Because they didn't have to answer you back. They took the time to read your email. They took the time and effort to read your email. Hopefully it's not long, guys. They took the time to read your email and then they replied to it. They took the time to reply and they were polite. And like, a lot of people don't do that. So recognize when someone makes an effort for you, for a complete stranger. Making sure that you show appreciation and gratitude is super important for people who move mountains for you. And moving mountains is a reply back to an email that you could have gotten no reply from. So direct outreach is super important when it comes to like just trying to make connections. It is super important to, yes, take a risk, be brave like Paula says, and just email people. Direct message people. Find their information. It's a way to do it. Like, Google is your friend, folks. Like, use it. We have Google, for God's sakes, in this day and age. I wish Google was as big as it is now. Like, it was like 15 years ago. Oh my God. Was it a thing 15 years ago? I think it was like just in its infancy or something. But you can research so many people and things. Like, everyone's online. Reach out to them. It's there. So your approach and your tone is important. How you speak in these emails and how you speak in the direct messages. And I get direct messages all the time in Instagram. Some of them are like, hey, like, it's sometimes because I'm like I'm a business and they're like trying to utilize like editing services. Like, I can edit your videos for you. I'm like, oh God, no. I don't know if I can ever have anyone edit my videos for me. Maybe that's down the line for me, but I like editing my videos. It's actually kind of like a very nice creative process for me. So your tone, your approach, very, very important. How you speak to people, make sure you're a person, don't get too formal. I know some people are like, how do I do that? How do I show my personality? I swear to God, there was a whole decade of my life where I just thought I didn't have a personality. I really thought that. I was like, what is special about me? What is it about me that makes me Amber? So sometimes being able to show who you are and to be authentic is very, very hard. I understand that because I didn't know who the fuck I was for like a whole portion of my life. And when you're like thinking about, okay, show who you are, but when you don't know who you are, you can't be authentic. Right? I understand this. So you got to do some inside work about who you are, what your strengths and weaknesses are, what do you like, what you don't like, what will you stand for, what won't you stand for, what are your boundaries, what are the things that make you super happy, what are the things that make you sad. Like, you have to do the inside work. Like, literally take a journal every day, be like, what do I like about myself? What don't I like about myself? What am I good at? What am I not good at? What are my frustrations? Talk to yourself in your journal and be like, what do I like, what I don't like? And that's like really basic. But you'll be surprised on the thought process that starts when you actually sit down and physically write, not type. Fucking type, guys. Like, I know we type everything now, but the act of physically writing does something. It's a connection between what you're thinking in your brain and what you're doing. It's like neurologically proven that like I guess I don't want to say you go through this like immersion of like different types of thought and stuff like that. It like does something to your brain. Like it's like the mechanics of your body, what you're doing, and like what your thought. It's like proven when you write something down. Also, like journaling in itself, like getting out your frustrations and stuff, like do it. Because when you write down your frustrations or what's bothering you through your day or what you're grateful for, it does start to build who you are as a person. And you start to recognize who you are and what you like, what you don't like, and what makes you special. I always say everyone has something special about them. Everyone has a superpower. Everyone has something that like makes them very, very unique. We're all snowflakes, guys. I'm saying it. I'm gonna go to the chat. Do we have anything else? Oh yes, yeah. So I ended up like being a person. You get to know yourself. Get to know yourself, folks. Oh. So yeah, I gotta mention being available within a certain amount of miles to production base. But then they will ask for details because if you don't live within distance, they won't get the local fund. Oh, okay. So yeah, so that makes sense for when they're funded locally and stuff like that. That makes sense. So that's a whole different ballgame where it's like they have to hire local folks and certain funds come from certain places and they will not bend on that. So Obi-Wan, I apologize for your circumstances. That is tough. I'm sorry. Paul, I just learned that the non-DJ members can view the availability. Oh, really? They can view the availability list on the DJ website also to find some context for ADs in that area. That's amazing because I didn't know. Okay, so first of all, the DJ website is shitty. And I say that as a DJ member, guys. I am sorry. We need to improve our website. And if there's any DJ members watching outside of Paula, I apologize. The website is pretty old. It's not very user-friendly. It's not aesthetically pleasing. There's a lot of things that have to happen with the DJ website. But if you do enough digging on that website, you'll find people who want to be contacted. When you set up your DJ profile as a member, you can say or you can list what you want listed as your contact information. My email is listed. I think my phone number is listed. I'm not sure. I don't think my phone number is listed. No, I don't think my phone number is listed. I think my email is, but you can actually, oh, you guys are great. Okay, Google started in 1998. That makes sense because I started like in film. Sorry, I'm totally getting sidetracked. Oh my God, I gotta like stay with, not be ADHD right now and stay with what I was talking about. So yeah, DJ website is a hot mess, but if you can go on there and start like sifting through some of the stuff they have, definitely look into it because if you're trying to be an AD and you're a set PA trying to get work, shoot your shot. Email these ADs, especially I think key ADs, second ADs for sure. Additional ADs, they can get you on as an additional PA for a day. Now, I love the phrase. I can't remember where it's coming from. Maybe my friend Sabrina. She said this the other day, and I was like, God, I love this. One of the ADs that we used to work with, Teddy, used to say this thing to, I guess, upcoming ADs and say, like, I'll give you a day, but you got to give me a reason to keep you, right? So that's kind of like the same mentality when we give new folks to film an additional PA day. Like, I'll give you a day, but tomorrow's not guaranteed, right? Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Like, you could just totally fuck up today. You'll still get paid for the day, but will you be back tomorrow? So I'll give you a day, and I give a lot of people chances. If you know me, you sent me your resume, or you're in my set PA class, and like maybe you weren't at the top of your class, and there's like a ranking system of people who I will hire right away. Some people I won't hire, and some people are like, I'll give them a chance to see how they do, right? And I give everyone most likely a chance if they apply. Like, for example, in the private Facebook group for Beyond Film School alumni, what I do for them is I post in that private group first. I go through my alumni first. So if they are in my set PA classes and they see my post and they say, hey, Amber, I would love to be interested in this opportunity. Like, can I be in the mix of additional PAs for this project? And if I don't think they're strong, I will give my key PA or whoever I'm sending them to or whatever job I'm sending, I will say they're okay, but they may need a little more guidance, right? They may need a little bit more. All right, they may just need a little more hand holding. They're super green. I'll give people a warning. But then I tell the additional PA who applied, I say, you cannot fuck up. This is what you're turning into. I know their style. Keep this, this, and this in mind. If you have any questions, let me know. You know, because they're representing me. They're representing Beyond Film School. Because if I recommend you for a job or you're on my job and you come from my program, whew, I will give you feedback. And I'll be like, this didn't work out. You did this wrong. They said you did this. So it's just making sure that you give people a reason to keep hiring you. Were you great at that lockup? Did you have a great attitude? What kind of, like, what did you show to bring you back the next day? Did you do a good job? If you didn't do a good job, I will know about it, especially if you're my Beyond Film School alum. Oh, man. Because I want to know. I want to know how you guys perform if you go through my program. Like, come on. Say something like, my name is Jane Doe. I am a SET PA. I'm reaching out to expand my network. Your insights and expertise are greatly appreciated. Amber, feel free to correct me. Okay. The one thing I don't like about, say something like, my name is ba-da-da. I'm a SET PA. I'm reaching out to expand my network. That is very straightforward. And here's the thing, is that, like, you're not at that level yet. If you are like a SET PA, or, okay, so if you are just starting out, you're not a SET PA yet, right? So you got to humble yourself, first of all. Like, I'm trying to be a SET PA. I'm trying to get there. Because this live stream is dedicated to people who have zero contacts, who have nothing, right? They got nothing yet. So you're not a SET PA yet. You say, hey, my name is, I'm trying to be or trying to gain. I'm reaching out to you to seek your advice, or if you need an additional PA. I think when you start, like, here is my big issue. I hate the word networking. That's why this live stream is called Making Connections. Even though I know making connections is literally networking. I understand that. I understand the vocabulary that everyone uses. But networking is such a word that is ugly to me and a lot of people. And also, the one thing I don't like about that, Amanda, and sorry, I know that I'm really nitpicking here, is when you start using like that word networking, it makes me feel like a means to an end, right? It makes me feel like you are using me for something. But then I know you followed up with, your insights and expertise are greatly appreciated. That's so formal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, now, Amanda, I would say it's not spam. It is kind of spammy because you're like, hey, I'm trying to expand my network. Like, that doesn't make me want to do you any favors, to be honest with you. That's my first impression. It doesn't make me want to do you any favors. I would rewrite that. Rewrite this as, you're writing a wise old friend. And I would love to see what you come up if you're like, okay, if I'm writing like my uncle that knows a lot of shit that I haven't seen in a while, like, you're not gonna say, hey, uncle. You're not gonna say that. But you're gonna go into it like, I'm trying to seek advice from someone that's wiser than me, that knows way more than me. They don't have to do me any favors, but whatever they can offer, I will be so grateful for. Like, I feel like your approach has to just be a little, like, not so, like, I don't know, it feels very stiff. I did it through LinkedIn because depending on who it is, their email address is on their IMDb page. And Amanda, thanks for saying LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is also a great place to go to network. Because one, it is a professional website. Two, ADs, film professionals, are definitely on there. So if you search first ADs or second assistant directors or DJ assistant directors and you're trying to be a SET PA, that's a really good resource, actually. Go on IMDb, be like, hey, what's it like to be a first AD? I want to be you one day. What do you suggest? How did you get started? That's literally what I would write. Like, hey, I saw your profile. I'm looking for more information on how to become a first AD one day. I know that's 10 years down the line, but, you know, what did you do?